Good morning, everyone. Am I audible to all of you? Okay, fine. Okay, so in the previous session, what we have discussed, we have started the phasor representation of alternating quantities, right? In that, we have seen that how we can represent the sinusoidal quantity by using the phasor. Along with this, we have seen the vector addition, different methods for the vector addition, right? Out of which we have seen two different methods for the vector addition. The first one is waveform addition method and second one is parallelogram method. Okay. Today we will see the one more method of vector addition, and that is the the method of component or xy component method. Okay. Then after we will try to solve the numericals based on this. So this is how what we have seen, that if I represent the quantity by using the phasor, then the length of the phasor is equivalent to the amplitude of that quantity, right? For example, if the maximum value is Im, then length of yes, Raju Patel. Okay, so if you take the projection of this vector on the y-axis, that will give you the instantaneous value, that what we have seen. See over here, this OM, that means this vertical line. Okay, OM means this vertical line will give you Im sine omega t, this one. So if this is Im sine omega t, and we know Im sine omega t is nothing but the equation of instantaneous value. Then we have seen this alternating quantity with same frequency. This is what the addition of the vectors, right? In which we have waveform addition method. This is already we have completed. Then parallelogram method is also completed, and you have to remember these two equations that I told you. Square root of Im1 square plus Im2 square plus 2 Im1 Im2 into cos theta. And if it is in the form of vector, voltage, then you can write Vm1 square plus Vm2 square plus 2 Vm1 Vm2 into cos theta. Theta is what? Angle in between two vectors. Okay, angle in between these two vectors, Im1 and Im2. This small r represents that the vector is in the RMS form. Same way, you have to remember the equation for the phase angle of resultant with respect to reference. So whenever you are going to apply the parallelogram method, okay, at that time you have to remember these two equations. Then if you remember, if you have this equation, if you remember these two equations, no need to draw the parallelogram method while you are solving, right? Today we are going to see one more method. This is the example I told you, that whenever you are going to apply the parallelogram method for solving the numericals, then how you can apply. First of all, you have to draw the vectors. Then in sequence we have to go. First of all, find out the resultant of E1 and E2, add that resultant with the remaining vector so that you will get your final answer. The next method is method of component. Next method is method of component. This is the easy method, and when the multiple vectors are given, at that time you can use this method because this will be very easy at that time. So let us see how we can solve the, or how we can add the vectors by using the method of component. Each phasor is resolved into horizontal and vertical component. All of you agree? Suppose this is my x-axis, this is y-axis, and if one vector is given at some angle, okay, then can we resolve it into its two component? Say yes or no. Can I resolve the first component of this on the x-axis and another one is on the y-axis? Yeah. If it is IM,
Yes, sir.
if it is IM, and if this angle is theta, then anyone can tell me what is the x component of this vector? What is the x component? Can I write like this? IM into cos theta. Okay. Similarly, the y component of the same is IM into sine theta. Okay. So if you have three vectors, you have three x component and three y component, right? So you just need to know about how to resolve it into x and y component. That's it, right? So that you cannot make any mistake. I will give you one more example. Suppose any vector is given, just a minute. Suppose the vector is given on reference axis or on the x-axis. If vector or phasor is lying on the x-axis, and let us say it is IM. Okay. Now anyone can tell me the x and y component of this? What is the x and y component? I am drawing once again. In one case, the vector is lying on the x-axis. In another case, vector is lying on the y-axis. Let us say both are IM. So anyone can tell me the x component for this and y component for this first one? Okay, which is 0, x or y? Bajera is writing is 0. Both are 0. Okay, he's saying both are 0, but I don't think both are 0 because it is lying on the x-axis. Now listen, it is lying on the x-axis. So it is making 0 angle, right? So x component can I write like this? Im into cos 0. Im into cos 0. Cos 0 means what? 1. So x component is what? X component is what? Im, right? X component is Im. And y, for the y you can write Im into sine 0. Sine 0 is 0. So y component in this case will be 0, right? So now I think now you can understand the second case. Okay, this is my second number of case. So what is the result in this case? Y component is Im and this x component for this vector is 0. Got it? One more thing that you have to keep in mind, angle always you have to take with respect to x-axis. Okay, so either this is x, on this side it is minus x, this is y, and this is minus y, right? So later on I will discuss it. First of all, let us see that how we can apply this method. So each phasor is resolved into horizontal and vertical component. This is the first step. All the vertical components are added algebraically to get Iy. What is the meaning of this? If you have three vectors, you will get three y component, right? You will get three y component. Similarly, if you have three vector, you will get three x component. Three x component. Let us say for the y component it is y1, y2 and y3, and here it is x1, x2 and x3. Then you have to add all x component together and all y component together. All the vertical components are added algebraically to get the resultant Iy. Similarly, all horizontal components are added together in order to get the resultant Ix. Got it? Then the resultant component is represented by two adjacent side of rectangular like this, because I have the resultant vertical component as well as resultant horizontal component. Okay, so if I just apply this method, parallelogram method over here, I will get the resultant like this. So it is very simple, right? That just you have to take this triangle and apply the Pythagoras. So IR is equal to square root of Ix square plus Iy square. And what is the this angle phi? Tan inverse Iy by Ix. That's it. This is what we want, resultant as well as its angle. Okay, so this method is very simple. No need to remember any equation. Anyone any doubt up to this? Any doubt? Okay, so if you have three vectors, then how we can solve it? So I'm just taking the example of this xy component method. Okay, if this is my first vector, E1 is equal to 20 sine omega t plus pi by 3. The second vector, E2 is equal to 30 sine omega t plus 3 pi by 4. And E3 is equal to 40 sine omega t plus 4 pi by 3. So how many x components are there? X component for E1, X component for E2, and X component for E3, right? Similarly, so 3x component when you are going to add, you will get one resultant x component. Okay, and similarly, y component for E1, y component for E2, and y component for E3. So three y components are there. So you will get this EY, capital EY, or resultant EY we can say. Okay. And then you have to apply that equation, square root of EX square plus EY square, and phi is equal to 10 inverse Y by X, right? So this is how we can proceed. But yes, you have to take the sign into consideration. Okay. For example, with respect to x-axis, when it is making any angle over here, right, then x component of this E2 vector you are getting on the negative x-axis. Yes or no? And y component is on the positive axis. Okay, this is my plus y. That means whenever you are writing the x component for this vector, you have to add negative sign if it is with respect to negative axis. Similarly, if you are considering this angle for E3, you can see again x component is on the negative x-axis, right? So at that time you have to consider this negative sign. Similarly, for E3, the y component you are getting is also on the minus y axis. So y component is also with negative sign. When we will solve the numerical, you will get the idea. Okay. So this is our third method. It is also called as XY component method or method of component for vector addition. And I suggest that if the method is not specified in the numerical, then always go for this method for multiple vector addition. If two vectors are there, you can use parallelogram method directly if you remember the equation, right? Otherwise, this method will be very easy. So this is xy component, and then finally you have to apply this equation, so you will get your answer. Okay, so example we are taking, add following currents as a wave and as a vectors. So I1 is given, I2 is given, means two vectors are given. I1 7 sine omega t and I2 10 sine omega t plus pi by 3. Okay. So first of all, you have to apply the parallelogram method. Okay. First of all, you have to apply parallelogram method. then we have to apply the XY component method, and we are going to verify the answer by using both. Okay. So everyone remember this equation or not? Sorry. Resultant IR is equal to square root of IM1 square plus IM2 square plus 2 IM1 IM2 into cos theta, right? IM1 means what? Amplitude of first vector, and which is 7. So you can write 7 square over here. Seven square plus IM2 amplitude of second vector, this is 10 plus 2 into 7 10 into cos theta. Theta means, see here omega t plus nothing is given. Similarly here it is pi by 3. Pi by 3 means 60 degree. So you can write cos 60 over here. Tell me what you are getting. Okay, so anyone, what is the value of IR? 13.56. Uh, 13.56, I'm getting 14.79. Yes. Who is this? Bahati. Yes, Bahati, your answer is correct. It is 14.79. Or round figure, you can take 14.8. Okay. IR by using parallelogram method, that is 14.79 9 or 14.8. Okay. Similarly, find the angle phi by using the same method. So here is the equation for parallelogram method. You just have to put down the value tan inverse Im2 means 10 sine 60 divided by Im1 means 7 plus Im2, that is 10 into cos 60. Solve it. Tell me what is your angle. What is your answer of 5? In order to find the magnitude, we have applied this equation for the angle, this one. And so what you are getting for angle? $35.81. Okay. Yes. So let me write the angle phi by using parallelogram method is 35.81, right? So 35.8 degree I am writing. Okay. Now we have to solve the same numerical by using method of component, and we have to see whether we are getting the same answer or not. Okay. So for method of component, I'm going to draw the vectors for this. So first of all, let me draw two axes. First vector is lying on the x-axis only because angle is not given. You can see only omega t plus 0. That means Im1 is the vector that is lying on the x-axis and magnitude is 7. Sorry. Magnitude of this vector is 7. Second one, let me change the color, is at pi by 3 angle with respect to this x-axis. So I can draw pi by 3 and that is plus, means it is leading. Okay. So I can draw this vector at 60 degree like this. Okay, consider this angle is 60, and what is the magnitude? 10. So can you find two x component and y component for this angle, for these two vectors? So let us write x1 and x2. So anyone can tell me the x1 of this? This is my first vector. Okay. So what is x1? What is the x component of I1? Yes, very good. It is 7. And what is x component of I2? 10 into cos 60. 10 into cos 60. 60 means it is 1 by 2. So I will get 5. So resultant x is what? x1 plus x2. 7 plus 5. So it is 12. Okay. Similarly, small y1 and y2. So anyone can tell me what is y1 and y2? What is y1? Yes, very good. y1 is 0 and y2 is 10 sine 60. Very nice. 10 sine 60 degree. Okay. So it is 8.66. Okay, correct. 8.66. Now resultant. Resultant already you have y1 plus y2. So y1 is already 0. That means my capital Y is 8.66. Next is what? This is not our answer, right? We have to find the resultant of these two, I1 and I2. So IR, as per method of component, we can write under root x1 x square plus y square. Capital X square plus capital Y square. Put down the value of x over here and y over here and see whether you are getting 14.79 or not. 14.79, yes. So we have verified our answer. By using parallelogram method also I am getting the same answer, and by using method of component also we are using the same. Also find the angle phi, tan inverse y by x, and tell me whether you are getting 35.8 degree or not. Getting angle? Tan inverse 8.66 upon 12, that is 35.8, right? Yes, so by using this XY component method, also I'm getting the same answer. So in this way, you can apply these two methods. Any doubt in this example? Solution is given. I'm not going to repeat this numerical, but yes, we are going to solve two more numericals. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can please tell then after, right? First of all, we will try to solve two more numerical based on this. Then after, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, this is our final answer. Now, our second numerical, 4 voltages are given. E1 is equal to 5 sine omega t plus pi by 6. E2 7 cos omega t plus pi by 3. E3 is equal to 3 sine omega t minus pi by 4. And E4 10 sine omega t minus pi by 8. And here it is mentioned that find the magnitude and phase of resultant voltage. Any method name is given that you have to solve by using this and this method? No. And I told you that if method is not specified, you have to try to use XY component method. Okay. So normally first step is to draw the vectors, but everyone can note down one important point over here, that whenever we are going to apply vector addition methods, make sure that all the vectors are in the same form. For example, here you can see E2 is not in the same form as compared to E1, E3 and E4. It is given in cosine. Rest all vectors are given in sine. So you cannot directly draw E2 in as it is form. First of all, you have to convert this cosine into sine. If all vectors are given in sine form, there is no problem. Okay, but if any of the vector is given in the cosine form, then first of all convert this cos into sine. Getting? So in this case, my first step will be conversion of cosine into sine for E2 vector. So how we can convert it? E2 is given like this, 7 cos omega t plus pi by 3. And we know cos theta is nothing but sine 90 plus theta. That means if I want to convert this cosine into sine, I have to add plus pi by 2 in this case, right? Like this. So 7 cos omega t plus pi by 3 is also written 7 sine pi by 2 plus omega t plus pi by 3. So this is pi by 2 plus theta. Okay. Now you can see the second vector is also in the form of sine. Now easily I can use this form and draw the vectors, but you have to use this form now onward. Do not use the cosine form in order to draw the vector. Okay, so let us draw the vectors. Four vectors are there. So this is my x and y component, x and y axis. E1, as it is leading with respect to reference axis, and I told you that you have to take angle with respect to x-axis. So omega t plus pi by 6. Pi by 6 means 30 degree. Okay. So it, and plus sign shows it is leading. In case of E2, we have angle 150 degree and 150 degree leading. 150 degree leading. So anyone can tell me where is the, see, this is 90 degree, this is 90, okay, and 90 plus 60 will give you the 150. So it is over here. Okay, then E3 and E4 is having negative sign over here. That means it is lagging. So I can draw like this, minus 45. Similarly, for the E4, it is minus pi by 8 means 22.5 lagging. You have to consider this axis as a reference. With reference to this axis, these two are leading and these two are lagging. Okay. How we can find leading and lagging? That you can just rotate this in anti-clockwise direction so that you can see E2 is ahead, E1 is ahead with respect to x-axis, but E3 and E4 are behind the same. Okay, so any doubt up to this? Can you resolve the same, all the vectors into x and y component? Uh, who is this? Gator. Enrollment number 18. Am I asked to enter enrollment number? Enrollment number 18, please unmute yourself. Enrollment number 18, are you there? Who is telling you to enter your enrollment number at this time? If you have connection issue, it doesn't mean that you have to enter your enrollment number at this moment. Our lecture is going to be completed at 12:30. Okay, so all of you resolve all these vectors. All of you resolve all these vectors into its x and y component. So what is the x component of E1? The magnitude is 5. So can I write 5 into cos 30? Y E2 is anti-clockwise direction. No, you cannot draw it below E3 because it is, first of all, it is leading. If you are drawing it below E3, okay, it shows that it is lagging, right? That's why I told you these two are with positive sign and these two vectors are with negative sign. So these two are lagging with respect to this axis. If you are rotating this in anti-clockwise direction, then what do you see? Which one is first? This axis or E3 and E4? Definitely this x-axis. So we can say with respect to x-axis, E3 and E4 are lagging. Lagging means with negative sign. Okay. But in the E1 and E2 case, it is not like that. Both are with positive sign. That means always it will remain ahead than this reference axis. So you cannot draw like that. Got it? Now, but yes, this is the angle of 30 degree. Can I say like this? Because the total is, this total is 180. This total is 180 and 180 minus this 150 will give me 30 degree with this negative x-axis. Yes or no? So here you are getting the clear idea of taking the sign. This is minus x and this is minus y. This is plus y. Okay, and this is plus x. So what is x1? Means component of x component of E1. Can I write like this? 5 into cos 30. Yes or no? What about E2? Can I write like this? The magnitude is 7, angle is 30. 7 into cos 30 for E2. Can I write? If you are saying yes for this, then you are wrong. Because if you see the x component of E2 that you are getting on negative x-axis, that means I have to show it with negative sign. Minus 7 cos 30 degree. Okay. What about E4 and E3? E3 is magnitude is 3. So I can write 3 into cos 45. Yes, very good. 3 into cos 45. And similarly for E4, it is 10 into cos 22.5. No positive, yes, with respect to positive x-axis, it is making angle 150 degree. So if you are not going to add negative sign over here, then you have to take angle 150 degree over here. You will get the same answer. If you have calculator, you can just do 7 into cos 30. Sorry, minus 7 into cos 30. So you will get minus 6.06. Okay. And if you take 7 into cos 150, again you are getting the same answer. At that time, you do not have to take this negative sign if you are considering 150, because this 150 angle is with respect to positive x-axis. 30 degree is with respect to minus x-axis. Any doubt now? Okay. So if you have all four x component, you can add it together. You can add it together like this. So you will get your resultant x component. Okay. So this is 9.629. Again, you have this figure in front of you. Now you have to tell me the y component for all. Y component for E1, Y component for E2, Y component for E3 and E4. And I'm sure that those who are doing well, they can give me the answer. So what about E1 Y component? 5 into sine 30. Good. E2, either you can write minus, sorry, in this case, you can see, in this case, you are getting the y component on plus positive y axis, right? So I can directly write 7 sine 30 degree. 7 sine 30 degree. Okay, because this angle is 30. Okay, I'm getting all the component from Hasin. E1y is 5 sine 30, E2y is 7 sine 30, E3y is minus 3 sine 45, and E4. Very good, very nice. All are correct. Now you can add all together in order to find the resultant. So in this case, I'm getting these two y component are negative and these two y components are positive. Okay, you can see these two y components are negative, E3 and E4, and rest two are the positive. So I'm getting the resultant is 0.0517. But is it my final answer? No, right now I have resultant x and y component. What are we have to find? We have to find the magnitude and phase of resultant voltage, right? So we have to find ER. So ER is what? Under root x square plus y square. Under root x square plus y square. So whatever the capital X and Y you are getting, put down that value over here. So you will get your resultant. And this is my final answer for the magnitude. ER is equal to 9.6291. And if you take tan inverse y by x, you will get the phase. This is only tan phi y by x. So phi means tan inverse you can do over here. So you will get 0.31, 0.31 degree. And this is my final answer. Always write the final answer form in this manner. Okay. So I hope all of you are getting some idea that how to calculate it. Next time we will solve one more numerical. You can see we have the similar kind of numerical. You can just take the screenshot of the data and try to solve it by the similar method. Okay. Next time we will solve this numerical also, but before that you can try it by yourself. Again, we have four equations are given, and in this case all are in the same form, so no need to convert it from cosine to sine. All are in sine form. Okay, so you can apply the that method, xy component method, and try to solve it by yourself. In the next lecture we will solve it. Yes, so today we have completed the xy component method of vector addition. Second question means we have complete those we that we have solved. This one. This is second one, right? And this is what that you have to try. No need to write enrollment number. I will share the link with all of you. Do not leave the session. You can enter. You can find the link into the chat box. So in today's session, we have completed XY component or method of component for the vector addition, and then we have solved numericals based on these methods. Okay, next time again we will solve the one numerical, and then we will start analysis of R, L and C circuit. All of you can submit your response into the Google Form link, and once you have completed it, once you have submitted your response successfully, then you can leave the session. Those who have submitted, they can leave the session. I got 23 responses. You have to submit your response, otherwise you will be marked as absent. I got 27 responses. Okay, Sharon, you can write your enrollment number with your division into the chat box. if you find any difficulty. Okay, everyone, thank you for attending this session. I'm going to end the meeting now. I hope all of you have entered your number.